How's it going, everybody? I am AV Obsessed, and if you're watching this video on my channel, that means that you probably are too. And today is gonna be a different type of video for this channel because today is new TV day. I have been using this Sony A95L 65-inch OLED for basically since it first came out, October, I believe, of 2023, and it has been a phenomenal TV, but 65 inches, especially with a setup as big as what I have going on here now, seems a little small for this space and for the rest of what I've got going on with this system. So let me go over here and I'll show you guys what the new TV is, although you will have seen it from the title. 77-inch LG G6 is going to be my upgrade. Now, the whole time I've been using this Sony, I have been a huge fan of the Google TV OS that they have on here, just because everything is so snappy and just works really, really well. Minimal advertising, just basically showing you a recommended TV show that they think you might want to watch. They're not trying to sell you vacuums or cars or anything like that with ads on this TV operating system. But from everything that I've seen online, the biggest downside to LG right now is WebOS is awful. And so with the LG, I'm going to be using the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro to get something similar to the Google TV OS on that thing. Honestly, I really would love to have been able to get a 77-inch Sony OLED instead of the LG, but they just haven't made a new TV that's a 77-inch OLED since the A95L. So maybe next year they'll come out with something to replace the Master Series A95L here, but I really was like struggling, just like, do I buy a 3-year-old OLED like just to get a bigger version of what I already have, or do I upgrade to a 2026 flagship TV? And I obviously opted for the 2026 flagship. So for me, upgrading my TV is going to be a little bit more interesting of a process than what most people have, because I've got the Salamander Designs stand here, and if you look at the bottom of the 65-inch Sony that I've got here right now, it's basically floating above the stand, and that is because behind the TV here I have some uprights. So they're actually like retail shelving uprights that I bolted to the back of the Salamander Design stand, and then that is a Kanto full motion mount that's rated for up to a 100-inch TV, so that the TV can kind of float above the Salamander stand, and I can pull it out, angle it, and do different things like that. And then I have some heavy-duty shelving brackets holding up this nice piece of walnut that I polyurethaned myself to be the center channel shelf. And also, by the way, this Canton center channel is not going to be staying here forever. I do have on order the center channel that'll match my Bowers & Wilkins towers here, so I'm going to be getting an HTM82D4 within the next couple of weeks as well. So this stand is going to be getting a pretty full upgrade. So step one of me removing the 65-inch Sony A95L is going to be obviously disconnecting all of the cables that I have underneath the plastic cover here, and then taking the little brackets off of the mount here that lock the TV into place. And I'm going to just speed up through that because I don't want to have to try to talk the whole time to fill the space. All right, now I've got all of those basically little clamps that hold the mount in place on the TV removed. So actually, once I disconnect the power cable, the TV will be loose and I'll be able to lift it up off the mount. So now I got to get the brackets off the back, which I will also speed up most of that process. Anybody who might feel bad for me taking down my Sony A95L because it is such a good TV, don't feel too bad for this TV because it is not going away. It's still gonna stay in this house. It's just gonna become the bedroom TV because currently I have a 65-inch Sony A80L in the bedroom. As you can tell, I do really like my Sony OLEDs, but yeah, I have the 65-inch A80L in the bedroom right now, and I guess this would be a decent little upgrade from that TV. And then the A80L is gonna get put in my basement in the family room down there, which I don't think I've ever shown on any of my videos, but that's where the A80L will go. And then currently in that room right now, I have a Samsung S84F 65-inch OLED, which I will probably just box up and see if I can sell it on Marketplace or sell it to a friend or something like that. So doing quite a bit of TV shuffling. Another really big part of me putting a different size TV on this stand is the way that I have my center channel mounted. I need to raise it up now since the 77-inch OLED is going to obviously be considerably taller than the 65 was. So I need a minimum of 40 inches of clearance between here and here. Since I want to have a little bit of space between the TV stand and the TV, I'll probably want to do like 42, 43 inches of clearance. And so basically I gotta take the center channel off, take these 4 bolts out, raise this up and bolt it back together, put the center channel back on. So that is gonna be something that's gonna take a little while, so I'll probably speed up through that process. Now I got between here and here about 43 inches of clearance, which the new TV, is, according to the specs online, is 38.7 inches tall. So that means that I will have a good, actually that might even be too tall because it's gonna be almost 4 or over 4 inches of clearance. We'll see. One thing I'm really hoping is that I don't have to move the mount because that's a pain in the ass. So now the next step is gonna be getting the TV out of the box and getting the bracket screwed to the back and lifting it on the mount. Alrighty, so time for a TV unboxing. First TV unboxing I'm doing on this channel. I've already removed the nylon straps and the tape from the top of the box, so I can get into it right away. First thing you're gonna pull out this little bundle here that is essentially just a like owner's manual or quick start guide type of thing, the remote and some AAA batteries. I forgot my center channel was still on that chair, so that was stupid, but it should be fine. And then a thing that I am not going to be using, at least not in this install, maybe if I move this TV to a different room later, the LG zero gap wall mount that is included with the G6 and all of the G series LG TVs. That is one thing that's interesting about the G series is that they don't include the stand at all. They just include that wall mount bracket because they want you to be able to do the zero gap wall mount thing with these, which is really cool. Like I've seen it in person. I've actually helped someone hang up one of their G4 using the zero gap wall mount, and it is an incredibly clean looking install once it's done. I'm not going to be having quite that like clean flat up against the wall look, obviously, because I have giant audio components to accommodate. I would obviously rather have it that way because I am obsessed with audio. Right now we're just taking out all of the foam. So much foam. And I am keeping all of this stuff because I know that in probably 3 to 4 years, I'll be putting this TV somewhere else, possibly trying to sell it, or maybe even move it or something like that. I always tell people, if you have the space to store this kind of stuff, then keep it, because TVs get broken in moving so often, like all the time. People will end up accidentally breaking their TV while they're moving. A lot of people don't realize how fragile they are, so get the big old box off of here. And there is the TV. And I've even got it facing the right way with the back facing the stand, which is convenient. Get this other, more different foam off of the TV. Now, I've seen the G6 in person several times already at stores and stuff like that, so I know exactly what I am getting into here, but I am super excited to see what it looks like in my own space, because in a retail space, it's obviously very bright. So yeah, the next step is going to be getting the mounting brackets on the back of the TV and getting it on the stand and plugging in all the cables. That was a nice little couple hour long time jump, but here we are with it all set up on the stand, and now we are going to do some peels. That is, for some people, the most satisfying part of installing a TV. For me, it's turning it on and seeing what the picture quality looks like, but you know, I'm not that autistic. So a lot of people I've seen in the past leave these little plastic things on the back of the TV, but I am not going to be one of those. But the main peel, obviously, is going to be the giant piece of plastic that covers the entire screen. This is another one. I have actually seen some people leave this on thinking that it's a screen protector for their TV. And I mean, in a way it is, but it's not meant to be left on. It's specifically a screen protector for protecting it while it's in the box, in shipping and stuff like that. But if you leave this on, then you have a very ugly screen with a lot of really bad glare and all of that. So take that off of your TV if you have it on still. There we go. There is that beautiful 77-inch tandem OLED display panel from LG with their new anti-reflective, anti-glare, polarized screen, whatever you want to call it. And right away they're advertising the worst part about the TV, WebOS. TV is loading here. Well, I'm glad to see that it works. Every time I go through all the trouble of hanging up a TV, I always feel like, man, I should have turned it on and tested it first before I bothered to hang it up, just in case it got broken in transit. I'm gonna stop recording here while I go through the initial setup stuff, because I don't want you guys to see where I live. Now, I actually basically just completely skipped the initial setup steps, because I am not going to be using LG's WebOS. I'm actually not even gonna keep this TV connected to the internet. I pretty much am going to just make sure it updates the firmware, because the initial firmware for the G6 had a lot of issues with color and EOTF tracking and stuff like that. Apparently the new firmware has fixed all that stuff, so I'm gonna update the firmware, and then I'm just gonna unplug the Ethernet cable for it, because I'm going to be using the NVIDIA Shield with it the whole time. You can move that on home setting. This is where by default, the TV is always gonna turn on and go to WebOS. I want it to always go on to the last HDMI. So power on screen right now says home, and I am going to switch that to recent input. That way it'll always turn on and just go straight to the NVIDIA Shield TV instead of WebOS. Pointer options. This is something that I really wish LG would just give you an option to fully disable. The LG Magic Remote has the little pointer when you move the thing around it almost as like a Nintendo Wiimote. They only give you the option to change the pointer speed and the pointer size. I really wish they would just give you the option to fully turn that off, because sometimes if you're watching something and you shake the remote, the pointer is gonna pop up on the screen, and that's gonna be really distracting when you're watching a movie or a TV show. But they still aren't giving you the option to turn it off, so that's cool. Are you serious? So they're trying to make me agree to the terms just to get the firmware update. Like, this is what sucks about modern smart TVs. If I could buy this TV and have it cost like $200 or $300 extra and not have it have any of this crap, I feel like that would be worth it. But apparently I'm just gonna have to agree to the terms just so I can even get the software update, and then I'm just gonna disconnect the Ethernet cable from it, because yeah, this is it's just awful how much crap they're putting in these TVs now that track everything you do. ACR and viewing information agreement. Like, they're literally ACR, automatic content recognition. That's where they take a screenshot of what you're watching on your TV and send it to LG. Like, I think I've heard like it's every couple seconds. Like, it's just insane how much crap they're trying to gather from their viewers. So now we're all set up, and I gotta say, I am just blown away by what this thing looks like in my own space. Like, looking at it in the store, it looks pretty phenomenal, but looking at it in your own living room, even though I have every light in this living room on right now, so it's a pretty bright space, this OLED is so unbelievably bright. And LG's new polarized layer that they put on the front of the screen that helps like block reflections without being a matte coating. I hate the matte coating. I know that some people love it. I actually had somebody, when I was at a Best Buy the other day, we were looking at a Hisense I can't remember, UR8, which is one of their RGB mini LED TVs versus their U7, and the U7 has like a matte anti-glare coating. And this guy that I was talking to said that he thought that the U7 looks like the more expensive TV because it's got that matte coating so you can't see any reflections. But to me, I just love the way that a true like gloss black screen looks. It looks so much more, like there's so much more depth to it, which is why I chose the LG G6, because I think it's pretty much the best display panel on the market right now, and it has that true glossy black screen that just looks so good. And yeah, NVIDIA Shield, like totally awesome, you know, streaming platform, really, really fast still, even though this thing's been out since like, I want to say 2018, it's still one of the best streamers that you can get out there. Yeah, this content, it's just some random HDR content that I pulled up on YouTube, but it looks freaking crazy on this TV. So yeah, I'm not gonna start doing full TV reviews at any point in the near future on this channel, but while I had to tear apart my whole system to get this thing installed, I figured I might as well take you guys along for the ride. All right, guys, jumping forward about 2 weeks since that last segment of the video, and just kind of a wrap up here of what I think of using this LG G6. It's the most amazing looking TV that I have seen to date. As of recording this, I just heard that the Samsung S95H actually won the award for Best TV of the Year from the Value Electronics King of TV Shootout. Honestly, I don't care because I have never liked screens with a matte coating. So if Samsung would make the TV that the video enthusiasts want, where they don't have the ugly frame around the edge of that TV and the matte coating, then that would have been a TV that I would have considered. But this picture to me just looks so good, and to everyone else that's seen it as well. And also you could see I got the center channel that matches the Bowers & Wilkins speakers too, so that's another upgrade since the last video clip. But yeah, we just rewatched Lord of the Rings on 4K Blu-ray, because that is kind of a household tradition now. Every time I get a new main TV, that means it's time to rewatch that trilogy, and watching that on this TV was the best experience that I've had watching that movie so far. Better than seeing it in theaters, honestly, because the contrast and the color and the brightness that this TV is capable of is crazy. Like the scene in The Two Towers when they first come across Gandalf again, and they're in Fangorn Forest, and it's a very dark scene, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli basically think that they're gonna run into Saruman, so they say that they have to attack him very quickly so he doesn't have time to cast a spell on them. And then it's Gandalf, and he just is glowing incredibly bright at them so they can't even see him. He was glowing so bright, he was blinding them in the movie and us in our room. Like, it's legitimately that bright of a TV. Like, the fact that OLED has come this far is crazy. So, super, super worthwhile upgrade. And also, running the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro on this thing, in my opinion, is the only way to go, because that is the only major downside to this TV, is the WebOS just being awful. But yeah, other than that, that's my only complaint about this TV. The brightness, the new coating that they put on it, that kind of gets rid of reflections in the room. It's all just so good. This is like peak television. So, like I said, this is not going to be a regular thing for me to start doing TV reviews, because I don't have the measuring equipment and expertise to tell you that, you know, this TV doesn't track EOTF properly, or if another TV like has color errors. I'm not gonna get into that. I am still going to primarily be an audio focused channel, but you know, like I said, the name of the channel is AV Obsessed, so that includes video equipment as well as audio equipment. So yeah, if you guys want to see more audio reviews, like I am going to be doing a full review of the Bowers & Wilkins speakers coming up here in the not too distant future. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and if you're buying anything on Amazon, make sure you use my affiliate links down below. I guess I probably could put an affiliate link for this TV in there, and then also just a generic one in case you're buying anything else. That'll really help out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.